Enedina Vasquez is a writer and an artist, a creator of iconic art for San Antonio. And she grew up on the west side and went to some of the same schools that Carmen did. So what was your memory of that time period with Carmen? Or
I think that we grew up experiencing the same teachers and the same maltreatment. And I think that Carmen has always been my favorite writer because I think that she is San Antonio. It's in her DNA and she can't escape it. But every time I read Carmen or I see Carmen perform, she unfolds for me my photo album of the viejitas in my life, of the streets of San Antonio, of the smells of San Antonio. And I feel that she does not distort anything. It's her truth, and she's going to tell it as it was, in the language that it was. And I have always valued that about her because she's telling my story in my own language.
I have a question for you. Much of Carmen's work, the river runs through it. But living on the west side as children, it was probably San Pedro Creek and Apache Alazan Creek, and it was not actually the San Antonio River.
Mm-hmm.
And so what were your memories of the river, and why do you think the river became such a main theme for Carmen?
I think because as school children, we would come through the Alazan and we would come through the creeks, out of our way to go through the creeks, going back home and to roads, and we would go out of the way to go around Almendorf Lake, So those things are in our experience, and we flowed through them and we forced them. We were like the water that was moved to reach areas where it wasn't supposed to go, but we went anyway. And that's the way we grew. I think that's why a lot of the kids that grew up with us have a lot of spunk, because I think that it was just that time that we were there. Something happened that made us all count all the bricks in the school as punishment, but also in there were embedded our dreams. You place a child against the wall or make her stand in a corner for X number of reasons, especially for speaking Spanish, and they're going to daydream. And I think that we are products of those daydreams. We're living what those dreams were. And she speaks them. And I don't care if you listen to her in New York or in California, that's her voice and that's her truth. And she doesn't change it to fit the place where she's at.
She had a great response in a reading in New York, and it was people who have never been to San Antonio, but they know the voice.
Mm-hmm. I experienced that in my travels also. It's kind of like, wow, San Antonio must be a really interesting place. Yeah, because we carry it in our heart. And I think Carmen is the one that writes from the heart.